I'm Azrienoch, this is XDA TV, and you don't know it, but Peter Chu tried to resign from HTC on Wednesday. Unfortunately, Steve Jobs filed a lawsuit citing Apple's patents on Wednesday resignations. It's week 34 of 2011, and I'll start off this episode by reminding you that the big Android BBQ is only 1 month away. XDA will have a booth there. Huge thanks to Sterkson for setting all that up. If you want to meet me or Bob or plenty other devs that are going to be there, you need to be there too. Everything you need to know is at bigandroidbbq.com. For Android this week, a new version of the premium XDA app is available on the market. It lets you think posts, disable avatars, copy thread links, and a bunch of other stuff. Also, mGamers came out with Log This, which generates Logcats, and punkgeek uploaded his kernel that enables USB tethering on the Samsung Galaxy Tab. Lastly, rebellos' team published details about how to unbrick your Hummingbird device by creating your own bootloader. On the Windows side, Zork made an app for Windows Mobile that lets you download YouTube videos and gives you a nice interface to do that. Also, I went and interviewed Kotula and Darkstone Leet and Decords about the history of the HD2 and put all those interviews together in a single article as a tribute to that phone. I think it's important that newcomers have access to the struggles developers went through to make our devices so great. And with that, here's Bob.
Hi, I'm SassiBoB, and this week I'm reviewing an app called BullyBlock by SedGrid. This is a good app for anyone that needs to record information and help them out with cops or court cases. It's also for spy fun too. You can manually block phone numbers or set up an auto response for text and calls from certain numbers. It also blocks and captures inappropriate text and pictures, which you can then email to law enforcement or whoever you need to share the info with. The coolest feature is a stealth record mode that records what's going on with the default home screen, and it automatically emails this to you after it's done recording. Again, it's called BullyBlock. Check it out and let me know what you think. One more thing, I will be participating in a calendar for charity called Girls of Geek. I can't tell you exactly what's going on in my photo shoot, but I want all of you to be involved. If you'd like your app, game, logo, ROM name to be in the photo with me, then please send me a message and let me know. You can private message me on XDA or add me on t-double-t-er at SassiBoB. I love you forever. Mwah. See you next week, nerds!
Last thing for this week. Actually, a couple things. First, the TouchPad thing. I know I said last week that I would not be talking about WebOS again, but I am. Hopefully not for long. Not that it's a bad operating system, it just doesn't have much going for it. And XDA developers who offer up a bounty of over $2,100 for a fully operational Android port. This device just might be a tablet HD2, since WebOS and Windows Mobile have that whole non-existing thing going on, and a whole lot of excitement surrounding their sales. You know, hopefully more people take on HP's accidental pricing policy, which is to sell at a loss in order to gain later. In fact, if there's any validity at all to the speculation that Google will give away phones for free, it would work best if it were tablets. At the very least, there's now a few million new tablet owners who didn't have tablets before, and though it comes at HP's loss, this just might have saved the non-iPad tablet market. So I wish the teams that are working on this the best of luck. The other last thing for this week, Steve Jobs resigned as CEO of Apple. May you have a long and happy life, Steve. No, it's not you. I was thinking of a joke I heard earlier. Look, there are all sorts of blogs out there, even some from Android fanboys who praise you and thank you for your innovation. I have neither for you. As far as I see it, you didn't innovate much. You just took ideas that were already out there that were either free or fairly inexpensive and made people pay for them. You didn't innovate with iTunes. You took internet piracy and made people pay for it. You didn't innovate with the iPod. You took MP3 players and made people pay enormous amounts for them. You didn't innovate with the iPhone. You took smartphones and made it flashier so people would pay extraordinary prices, and so on. All the while, you locked down this technology so that people could only use it as you saw fit, so that they would buy the next product that they could have done with the last product they just bought, but you wouldn't let them do that, which makes people buy the next overpriced piece of crap you came out with because they couldn't do what they wanted to do with the first overpriced piece of crap you came out with. You know, I read an article that praised you for noticing the wrong shade of yellow on Google's iPhone icon. You called them on a Sunday to fix it. But I have yet to read an article that recalls the time that you completely f***ed up the iPhone 4's antenna and insisted everybody was holding it wrong. And that's the moral of the news this week. Steve Jobs did for innovation. If he should be praised for anything, it should be on his powers of persuasion. He persuaded people to pay outrageous prices for things. He persuaded people that they didn't need to explore the products that they bought beyond what he dictated. And especially, he persuaded everyone that a gangly old guy with a whiny voice was actually cool and deserved your praise at all. So there it is. Bye, Steve. Again, I'm Azrienoch, and this is XDA TV.